used a magnifying glass to look through his wedding photos. It turns out that his wife's fingers are making the sign of the cross. This means that his wife's wedding vows are completely false. So he approached his wife, wanted to take her on a trip together, but his wife panicked and said she had an operation to do. Looking at her uncharacteristic behavior, Jack is even more certain of his thoughts.
I'll cross my fingers for you.
Seeing his wife go to work, Truman rushed to follow her on his bike, but as soon as he arrived at the hospital, he was stopped by a strange doctor.
Yes, I'm looking for my wife, Nurse Burbank. It's very important.
You know what, I'm afraid that's not possible. She's in pre-op.
Okay, fine. Can you pass along a message?
I'll try.
Can you tell her I have to go to Fiji, and then I'll call her when I get there?
When you get to Fiji?
You got it.
Fine, I will, I'll tell her.
After successfully tricking him, Truman turned around and rushed in. But in the next second, the patients and staff in the hospital were very cooperative and began to block Jack. Having managed to shake off the crowds, he finally made his way to the operating theater where his wife was. Seeing these doctors who were only performing, Jack was stunned. It turned out that even his wife's identity as a doctor was a fake. Leaving the hospital, Jack makes a decision. He's off to Fiji to find his first love, Ellie. However, the travel agent told him the soonest could get a ticket was a month later. Jack had no choice but to choose other means of transport. But after he managed to get a bus ticket, the bus also coincidentally broke down. So Jack soon realized that there is a force that keeps stopping itself from leaving. Returning home, Jack called his wife to the car and instructs her to look in the rear view mirror.
That in just a moment, we will see a lady on a red bike, followed by a man with flowers, and a Volkswagen Beetle with a dented fender. Lady. Flowers.
This is silly.
There it is! There it is! There's the dented beetle! Yes!
Looking at his wife still playing dumb, Jack said he had watched them many times. These people keep spinning in place. After saying that he stepped on the gas, immediately ready to drive to Fiji. Seeing the traffic jam on the otherwise clear road, Jack didn't believe it. He put the car in reverse. After turning around and around the roundabout, he pulled back onto the road he had just driven on. Sure enough, the road that had just been blocked was clear. Then they went to the Cross Harbor Bridge. His wife knew that Jack was terrified of the water. She tried to persuade Jack to go home, but Jack put his wife's hand on the steering wheel. He stepped on the gas and sprinted off. This caused his wife to break out in a cold sweat. Fortunately, they made it across the bridge without a hitch. Immediately afterwards, there was a warning of a hill fire on the road, but Jack didn't hesitate to drive through. Seeing things getting out of hand, the director hurriedly arranged for a roadblock to be set up ahead. After successfully stopping Jack, a policeman tells him that there is a nuclear leak ahead and advises the two men to leave the area.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome, Truman. Hearing the stranger call out his name, Jack immediately realizes that this is still a scam.